So hello, future CEOs. My name is Chris Drew. I'm coming to you from our San Francisco office here. Actually, this is Teens office. I'm in our CEO's room, and don't tell him he's not here right now. Um, but my name is Chris, and I am the senior member of our enablement team. I've been at Zuora for about 2 years, a little bit shy of 2 years. And I started off as a BDR. I started off as a BDR down in our APAC territory. So I used to work with John, Charlie, Lane, Kim, a lot of the folks who you'll be working alongside of if you're able to join our team, which I hope you are seriously considering. So John asked me, your future boss asked me to respond to a few questions to tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about the position, and a little bit about our company. The first question is, what attracted you to the role initially? How did it stack up against other roles you were considering at the time? Great question. I'm a little bit of an anomaly in that I was running my own company. I was a ed tech company founder. I actually have a PhD, and my background is in academia. But I was looking to make a career transition. I wanted to join a fast-growing SaaS company, and so what some of the inputs were for me, what attracted to me to this role. First of all, I knew that it was an entry-level role. I was not scared of that fact, despite some of my experiences and where I was in my career. That to me was secondary to the fact that I was looking for a great company to join that had a lot of opportunities, and I was very specific and diligent in my research. So I was excited by Zuora. And the opportunity to have experiences, some leadership, operational, and management experiences, and to be able to learn both indirectly from the folks who are here at the company and directly by, hopefully, and this has become the reality, jumping into roles where I would be able to lead, manage, and understand how to operationalize ideas and strategies, etc. So that's a little bit about the role that attracted me to it. Now, I had no disillusions about the fact that it would be a challenging role, that it's an entry-level role where I knew that I was going to have to work and grind. I was going to have to make a lot of calls, potentially hear a lot of rejections, compose a lot of emails, do a lot of research, do a lot of learning. But I embraced that. I embraced that as an opportunity. How did your perception of the role compare to the reality? Well, that was a little bit of my perception. I like I said, was not didn't have any disillusions. I was not have false expectations. And the reality, it was that it was a lot of hard work. But guess what? I put that hard work in, and I was able to seize on some additional opportunities internally. And I am not an anomaly, by the way. There is a catalog of folks who have started off as business development reps here at Zuora. They are now sales engineers, account executives. They are in marketing, doing demand gen. There are folks in operations. There are account executives, a whole bunch of account executives. So there are a lot of opportunities to grow in the company and go in other places. But again, the reality is it's you're gonna have to log some hours. But there's a payoff if you do that. Next question is, talk us through a typical day as a BDR. What tools do you use, methodologies, etc. So a typical day, if you want to break it down hour by hour, you might come in and the first couple hours you might be doing some research on companies that you're planning to prospect into. You might be handling lead queues, responding to inquiries. You might be syncing up with one of the account executives with whom you work. So it's I think that thinking about your day, I think that if you try to break it down and think about it day by day and hour by hour, that's not the best approach. I thought about it from a monthly and a quarterly perspective. In terms of, how can I get to know my territory? What are the industries in my patch that I know are really hot right now? Who are some of the thought leaders who are some of, what is Deloitte saying about the top 50 hottest companies in, name your industry, and understanding at a high level what those industries are, what they're doing in relation to the subscription economy, and what business transformations they might be making. That was really how I approached my business, and that's how I looked at it. Was APAC, my territory. It was my business, and I wanted to be an expert in it. And so I worked sort of down from that in terms of how to run my day. And the tools we use Salesforce, Outreach, Leadlander, SalesLoft, LinkedIn Navigator. We use a whole host of tools, and that's another thing that is really cool about being able to build up some expertise in the tools. As far as the methodology, our sales methodology, at Zuora we have a very clearly defined sales process with a clearly defined methodology, which you'll learn more about when you join the company. Next question, how are you measured in terms of KPIs and knowing if you're successful? That's a great question, pretty clear cut. We have quotas, and you're supported to hit those quotas. And quotas as a BDR is around opportunity generation. And how you handle the leads and develop those into opportunities that you support up through specific points in the sales cycle. That's how you're compensated. That's how you're measured. And again, you are well supported in that. It is a team effort, and not just amongst BDRs, but across the organization, from marketing to sales, management, everywhere in between. So how have you found the market appetite for Zuora? What sort of questions have you been having? So that's the next question. That's a great one. The market appetite. Well, so we're the leaders in the subscription economy. Anybody who's looking to make a transformation, a business transformation, to a recurring revenue model, they're going to come to us. If they've done any amount of research on the web about how do I make this transformation, we are the thought leaders in the subscription economy. So the appetite is strong. We have more customers in this space than any of our competitors. So the type of questions that I get, it really depends on the type of person I'm talking to. And by type of person, I mean persona within the business. There's finance folks that you might talk to, IT folks, marketing folks, sales folks, digital strategy folks. And the questions that you might field are disparate because they have different interests, right? An IT person, you might have to have a little bit more technical knowledge and be able to answer some high-level questions about APIs and payment gateways. A CFO is going to have questions about GAAP reporting, revenue recognition. And these are all things that we train you and support you. And it's really cool to have that knowledge and to gain that knowledge and to be able to not only have these conversations and carry these conversations, but eventually get to a point where you run these conversations. And that's a really cool feeling, a really empowering feeling. So next question, how has your career developed since starting in the role? And where are the progression opportunities for new BDRs? I like that question because I have recently answered it and formalized a very clear trajectory for how that happens here at Zuora. In my role, again, just to reiterate, I started off as a BDR in Sydney. Well, I worked out of the San Francisco office, but I worked for John and with John's and Charlie out of our APAC office. And one of the things that's happening as we're growing as a company is we are now moving that function down into the Sydney office, which is why you are watching this video. But the progression opportunities for new BDRs, you need to come in and you gotta prove your capabilities to perform. Once you do that, there is a timeline where we begin to introduce new opportunities and support you with mentoring and coaching. You begin to have opportunities to explore other projects that get you exposure into other parts of the business, whether it's in partnerships or sales engineering or global services, or the list is long and myriad. And as far as how my career has developed since starting in the role, well, I'm the lead for our enablement team, and I went from running the APAC territory as a BDR in the business development rep role to getting a position as a junior member of our enablement team as part of the enablement and operations organization, to now I am the lead enablement, and I fully expect that I'll continue to grow. I see opportunities ahead of me. I see opportunities for this company, and it's a really exciting time to be a part of Zuora. Every company has their ups and downs. There's, it's easy to when you're in sales mode and you're in recruiting mode to pitch all the that everything is hunky dory and we got no warts. But the truth is there will be ups and downs. There's growing pains. But if you're like me and like a lot of the other folks who have been here for a while and who work hard and add value, then you're gonna find places to grow. So anyway, if you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email if you're thinking about the role, and good luck.